everybody. We got to give my phone a minute to catch up. Hey, everybody. There we go. So that I can test the sound. I don't think... There we go. I am just doing a spontaneous live stream this afternoon. I got to get it so I can see all messages. There we go. Got my gaming PC set back up. And solar is doing decent. I mean, it's pretty cloudy, overcast day, but hey, we'll be able to get some work done. We should anyway. 13.2, 13.7, we're good. We're just gonna give it a minute or two and hopefully it sends out some notifications, because I mentioned that we would be doing this, but I never mentioned a time. So hopefully bear with me a minute or two and maybe we'll get some people in the house. If not, that's okay too. This is a pretty informal live stream, but it's kind of gonna give some life updates, some stuff like that, and show you guys behind the scenes a little bit, and also tests out the gaming PC. Like I said, the solar, pretty overcast day, but wanted to test it out and see how we do. So I got my phone down here so I can see YouTube comments as they come in. And I'm going to be sharing my screen with you guys here in a minute. Just bear with me as I pull this up. During our live stream today, while we talk shop a little bit, I'm also going to be working on my new website. So that is what I'm pulling up right now to get the design stuff figured out. I see Floss coming in. Welcome in, Floss. Thank you for joining. I don't know how long this is going to go. Maybe just an hour or so. But thought I might as well live stream while I'm getting some work done here. So let me share my screen now that I got that set up. We want this one. Really, audio doesn't matter. There we go. Am I sharing it? There we go. Yep. And we'll do that. I don't like that it shows blue still. Can I make this? No, I guess that's as big as I could get it. That kind of looks dumb with the blue stripes. But I guess I can't make it widescreen. That's kind of dumb. But here is the new website I am working on. And we will be getting this published, going live either today or tomorrow, just because Wix here. I've used them in the past, so those who have been around since Kobe's Travels might recognize this. There was actually another website that I had back in the day for Kobe's Travels through Wix, and I offered a lot of like t-shirts, that kind of merch. I just want to get everything organized, because right now I have some jewelry, I have some photography, I have my memoirs, I have my clothing, and it's kind of all over the place, and I'm not a fan of that. I want one main hub for living the dream, for the business. So I was looking around and we decided to go with Wix again, because Shopify, which was the most recent one I ended up using, that was about $400 to $500 a year. And I do apologize if you guys find this kind of stuff boring and whatnot, but I want to talk business, and I know there was people that are kind of interested and fascinated from that side of things. So I'm not going to make this like an every week thing, but I figured why not share some numbers with you guys and behind the scenes, because this is a business. This is how I hope to eventually pay my bills. and I see Floss. Yet I apologize if I keep looking down. I got my phone set up underneath my gaming PC. That way I can see your guys' comments coming in. Otherwise, right now I got the entire computer on my website, so I can't see it on my computer itself. But yes, one would also be easier to manage. Now, Shopify, you could do everything, but like I said, it was $400 to $500 per year. And I did it for 1 year. And what I did like about Shopify is that you could get a card reader. So if you're at craft fairs and stuff like that, you can also do it there. And I've used it a couple times for that. The downside was that $400 to $500 a year, with how little I was doing craft fairs, etc., I was losing money. I wasn't even breaking even. So I went back and I'm looking through all these different sites, and Wix was doing a 50% off deal. And I reached out to them and I said, I just want to know, like, how long is the deal going on? Because I just made the decision to reopen a website with you guys, but I don't want to use my original one from 5 years ago. I've grown a lot. My skills have grown a lot. I mean, I have a programming degree, which programming you really don't have to do with Wix. If you guys ever want to build a business, it's not that complex. You'll see that as we start working on things here. But I reached out and they said it does end in 4 hours. But since you want to do business with us again, basically, here is a promo code. And this promo code is available through March 2nd. So basically I had 2 days. So here we are today. I need to place the order to get the website up and running today. So I'm just trying to keep things a little simple right now, but I do have big plans. Like I said, I hope to make this one day be the hub. Now, full disclosure, because this is a business live stream, we're talking shop here, and we're going into details. For half off, I am buying a 3-year plan, and I am taking a risk by doing so because financially, the next 6 months, I really don't know what I'm going to be doing for an income. Let me take this down for a minute, and I'll just pull me up. Let's talk about that for a moment. So, some of you know that I've been looking for seasonal work, specifically some work camping jobs. Those, unfortunately, have not been working out. The 2 that I've applied to from the big tent event, I'm just running in circles, basically. I'm never getting answers, and the very few times I'm getting a hold of people, they basically are just telling me that the managers tend to procrastinate, and that they'll bring them my application again. They printed it off, that I'll hear from somebody soon. I'll hear from somebody one way or another in a couple days. And that was over a month ago. I originally applied 2 months ago, so we're not getting anywhere. And the jobs were supposed to start April 1st, pretty much. So I'm kind of just giving up on those. I mean, the lack of communication, I think, is also a red flag a little bit, because if you're, like, I had someone say that 3 workers just quit on them, and that's why they were procrastinating to hire more. Well, if 3 people just quit on you unexpectedly, shouldn't you be jumping on the hiring process even more so? I mean, you were already hiring, and then you had 3 people unexpectedly quit. From my mind and my business angle, like, that doesn't make sense. So as Floss is saying, the usual blah, blah, blah. The other side of things is a lot of the jobs I was looking into, like, I think, so who was it? Somebody mentioned the Grand Canyon. And I did see one job on Facebook for that. originally before they even said anything, but it was like driving a shuttle bus type of deal, and you need certain licenses, and I can't do that. But I looked up some other jobs at the Grand Canyon, and see, that's another thing. Floss is pulling up my thoughts here. Why did they all quit at once? So there's some red flags there, and yes, it would have been cool. Yes, the money would have been nice, but with the lack of communication and seeing this, that's some red flags. Not to mention the pay. I say the pay is nice, but really it was the benefits are nice. The pay was only $10 an hour, and that's like nothing nowadays. So those, yeah, they're not working out. What was I gonna say before I saw Floss's comment? Oh, dogs. I pulled up work camping jobs in Arizona, and it's not just Arizona, but a good example, the Grand Canyon, because somebody specifically mentioned that in my last live on Thursday or Saturday during my Slab City video. All of the Grand Canyon jobs, they're not pet friendly. And a lot of the work camping jobs I'm finding, they're not pet friendly locations. So having Rocky, I can't go there. I can't camp there. I can't work there. So that eliminates things even more. And then there's certain jobs, like we'll do a video on this later on, going in depth on it for anyone who may be interested. But as a nomad, you'll hear a lot about the beet harvest. Oh, you make so much money during the beet harvest, yada, etc., etc., etc. Well, I went to an infomercial presentation for it in Quartzsite, the big tent event. And the one reason I can't do it right out the gate is they said you have your camper at a campground, and then you have to drive to the workplace. And the second you step foot on the workplace, you're not allowed to leave for like 12 hours. Not even during lunch, stuff like that, breaks. You have to stay on the job site. And it's like completely random. You can't be guaranteed, oh, I want to work during the night shift. I want to work during the day. They can't guarantee that. They might be able to help you when you get there, but they cannot guarantee it. So again, having Rocky, I can't do that. So, and the beet harvest, I might be wrong here because I hear so many people talk about it, but what I took out of that presentation was that you are basically, let's say, Lower Michigan, because that's one of the locations. You're in Lower Michigan for about a month. It was either all of September or all of October, somewhere around that time frame. You're practically there for a month, but they said you only really work 7 days. So when they say, oh, you make $1,500 in a single week, yeah, that might be if you work all 7 days and then the other 3 weeks you don't have any work. Like, the numbers they were spitting out just didn't make sense to me. Now, I haven't done that job, so maybe I'm wrong on that aspect, but that's what they were telling us at the presentation, and that's what I took out of it. But again, I can't do 12-hour shifts, especially when I don't know, am I working during the day? Because if it's 90 degrees, I need to be able to make sure the AC and generator and everything's working. Like, I can't do that with Rocky. So that was already a automatic no. Deliveries. Here in Havasu, we're 5 miles away from the Walmart. So not bad. I could drive the 5 miles, do my deliveries, come back. And if I play the cards right, with a little bit of luck, you're making some good money. But there's other times where you're not going to get paid even $1 per mile. So then it's really not worth the wear and tear, the gas, etc. I don't know anywhere else currently outside of Havasu where I can have the camper parked close to Walmart, and that way every couple hours I could come back to the camper and check on Rocky and check on the AC, check on the generator, etc. But yeah, there are several locations for the beet harvest, but that was the automatic no right there, because you have to do 12-hour shifts, and I just can't do that with Rocky. Now, if I had someone else with me, then they could watch Rocky and stuff like that, but I don't have that. It's just me and Rocky. And that's what they said, because somebody asked about dogs. And they said dogs are not allowed on the job site or anything like that. So what a lot of people do is couples will come and one person works while the other person stays at the campground with the dog. So beet harvest, not gonna work out. The work camping jobs, I'm not hearing back from people, or the locations don't allow dogs. It's always something. I see, where's Uncle Roy? He is hiding behind me. His camper's parked back there. He is hiding from the heat. He was complaining that it's too hot, and I was like, I told you it was gonna be hot. So that's kind of where we're at with jobs right now. But yes, shifting gears, I'm doing a lot of Walmart deliveries. Doing a lot of deliveries to Walmart right now while I'm here, while I can. And that's helping me out. But even with my calculations, I'll still have about $300 per month in bills, which $300 a month in total bills is not bad. It's not. And that's taking the money from here, saving it up, so over the next 6 months, it pays for some of the bills. So $300 worth of bills is basically unaccounted for. Not bad. So I need to start, selling a bit more of my stuff, my photography, my memoirs, whether it's life coach, whether it's being a ghostwriter. People want me. I've had people ask me if I'd be willing to help write books and stuff. Yes. And, some of you who routinely check in with these live streams, especially, you've probably heard me mention it here and there that I'll do video editing. I'll help you write a book. I'll do tutoring for math. I'll like that kind of stuff. Like my Auntie Peggy, she was one of them. And yes, speaking of Auntie Peggy, I still need to message you. I've been needing to do that. But as you could probably tell, my mind is already in 50 million directions. And that's where we're going with this live stream here. Is, okay, now I need to crack down and I need to figure out what's going to work for these next 6 months. Well, one of the best things for me, and this is what I did last summer when I quit the job at the college, is I worked on my book. So I know that is a great time for that kind of stuff. So Auntie Peggy, I am going to be messaging you, and I'm going to be talking business a little bit. How are we going to write that book? Trying to discuss maybe some kind of pay, something, trying to get that set up to help me pay the bills here. But yeah, some of you might know that stuff. But the point is, I need to make a website because I need it to be all in one hub. And I need to start marketing better. I always used to feel bad that, like, oh, here's a copy. Yeah, here's a copy of my first memoir. It talks about how I became a nomad and all the places I visited, and it shares some of the history. And I always felt bad doing stuff like that. But the reality is that this is a business too. And I need to make some money, because if I don't make money, I already know from the bus this lifestyle is not maintainable off of hopes and dreams. Hopes and dreams are great, but you cannot maintain the lifestyle simply off hopes and dreams. As much as it might suck, you do need money, unfortunately. But the thing is, too, I've learned the stuff that I'm best at is the stuff that I'm passionate about. So writing, I am very passionate about. I am very passionate about editing, YouTube, photography, like that kind of stuff. I am so passionate about, and that's when I make my best work. So the plus that, I could get some money from that, and it could help me maintain the lifestyle and grow the brand and grow the business, that makes me want to do it even more. So it's kind of reached a tipping point where it's like now or never. So some people I'm sure is going to hate it, but I'm going to have to start mentioning my book a little bit more, mentioning my photography a little bit more, doing stuff like this where I'm talking about behind the scenes of this is what it costs to run a website. This is what I'm doing to run my business. And yes, I'm trying to make money, but I also hope that it helps people. Because I have so many people that are like, how do you make money on the road? You must come from a rich family. That's so far from the truth. And how do you write a book? And how do you do your editing on YouTube? Like, I can help teach that, and I can show that. But I also need to make a little bit of money if I'm going to be able to keep doing this. As much as I hate to say it, for those who have watched the channel for several years now, you guys saw what happened when I worked at the college. Now, I love the job at the college and getting to help people and stuff like that, but the business and YouTube and everything had to take a back seat because I wasn't making money from it. It wasn't paying the bills. So we were going months without posting videos, like Europe, Kenya, Peru. There is so many videos still sitting on my hard drive that I need to throw together and make, because I did not make them in the moment because I didn't have time. I was too focused on bringing in money and getting those jobs done. So it's give and take a little bit. And it has to be that way if I'm going to do this full time. It's sad but true, Kobe. People like to read about drugs, sex, and murder. There's definitely a story there. It is. It's going to be hard to write, but it's a good book. I got to see. It looks like some aren't following up on. There we go. Certain comments weren't pulling up on StreamYard here. I'll tell you one thing honestly, your book got my attention from the first few pages. However, being your auntie, I had to put it down because I felt like I was peeking into your private life. Like things I'm not supposed to know. No, that's okay. It's, I think it was my Aunt Noelle who was one of the first people to buy my first book of Discomfort, the Key to Your Best Life. And if I remember correctly, the first two sentences right here are they're a hook, really. They get your attention. Throughout high school, I had battled depression. In 9th grade, I even had suicidal thoughts. Those are the first two sentences in my book. It really gets your attention. And the thing is not only did I feel like fully being open and being raw, honest about everything made the story better, but it helps people. I can't tell you, and I'm very proud to be able to say this. I can't tell you how many times I've lost count that people have messaged me saying that that book has helped them with their depression, anxiety. I've had parents whose children were going through that stuff and suicidal thoughts and whatnot. And I've literally had parents in tears telling me how much the book has helped their kids. That is the greatest feeling in the world. And going off of that again, if I want to continue to be able to do that kind of stuff, writing a book is a lot of work. It takes a lot of time and a lot of effort. And right now I have 2 books that I've wrote and I'm not making barely any sales. And I've talked to several experts in marketing and people that run businesses and stuff like that, and all of them say the same thing. Outside of marketing, my lack of marketing, there is no reason why I shouldn't be getting sales for these books. So doing that and having money coming in, it helps me be able to make more content like that. I see comment was held for review, but I see Floss saying, if you put it out in public, is to be known to all who read it. And that's a good point. I think as you read the book Auntie Peggy, you're eventually going to read a sentence where I'm pretty sure my exact words were, I had to stop and think for a moment. Do you truly want to put all of this out there for anyone and everyone to read? But it also helped me being able to put that out there. It was like a grieving process in a way. And speaking of grieving, quite literally, I noticed that when I lost my grandparents. When I lost 3 of my grandparents back to back to back, you would think I would stop writing. But in reality, I dived even deeper into my second book. And I wrote so much during that time. So being able to put that stuff out there, it is good and bad because I have to relive it. Number one, if you really want to make it, if you want the reader, in my opinion, this is just my writing process. If you want the reader to really feel what it was like, because I think that's the best book, is the reader picks it up and they can picture things in their mind's eye and they really feel what's happening. And if you want to create that, you really have to relive that. You have to go through those moments again. And you just have to be fully honest and raw with everything. I see Floss saying too, been there, done that a couple times with suicidal thoughts. That was the other thing. It is such a common problem, and it's better now, but with men especially, it was always like so frowned upon to talk about that stuff. I remember somebody at one point who I used to be good friends with, he started bawling in front of me, and he said, what was his exact words? I'm sorry, I should not be this weak, is what he said. And I had to give some tough love in that moment, and I basically said, like, no. Showing emotions and feeling this way, like, you're not alone, and that does not make you weak. So being able to share that stuff through my books too means the world to me. Your grandmother was a huge part of my life, so I know parts are going to make you sad. Yeah, it's As hard as it is, again, you have to have those moments in there, though, too. And any good book, in my opinion, any good book is going to have sadness, maybe some anger, some happiness, because it should be a little bit of a roller coaster, just like life. If life and your book and your YouTube videos and everything are just happiness all the time, then it kind of takes away from the happiness, the achievement, the climax, versus the flip side. If they're always just sad, it's kind of like, it kind of makes it feel like, okay, nothing really does get better. Versus my first book, it goes, life was rough and it sucked and blah, 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 blah. And then, here I am today. That's the perfect example. I would say, high school was over 10 years ago, probably 13 years ago is when I had those suicidal thoughts in high school. 13 years ago, if you told me what the last 5 years of my life were going to be like, never, even for a second, for a small sliver, would I have believed any of it or imagined any of it. I could not have. Now being here, there's so many times, like right now, where I just think about everything. Even just being here, doing this live stream, looking out my camper windows, sunshine, a nice breeze, warm weather. I could never have imagined any of it. It shows that there's a payoff to keep going, to push through, that it does get better. I could put some copies in my friend's second-hand shop in town. Well, if you know anyone or if you want to order some extra copies, Auntie Peggy, definitely reach out. We can be in touch. I'm trying to figure out, like I said, more marketing, more sales. Like, this is a business. I gotta run it like one. So that's what I'm working on with this new website. Lots of funny stories, I bet. Knowing Grandma, there's always some funny stories. So let me pull the website back up here. This is what I have so far. And keep in mind, I've only been working on this for 2 days. So I basically had, Wix has a tool where you describe what you're going for, and it kind of builds a generic version. So I started with that, and I'm starting to customize it to what I like. So this is the home page right now. We have services, the life coaching, the photo video editing, social media management, merchandise. I know this is really hard for you guys to see the text and stuff right now. It's because it's generic and I've already started changing. Like you could see up here, the backdrop's brown. It used to be this light blue, so it's kind of screwing everything up right now. Oops. It's kind of screwing everything up right now, but we're going to fix that stuff. Best-selling items. We got my memoir collection. That's what I'm calling it now, not the memoir bundle. It's the memoir collection. And then we have the journey. And then we have discomfort, the key to your best life. And like I said, the text is here. It's just hard for you guys to see. Mission and vision statement. We're going to have Instagram posts and stuff on here, because that's the other thing. I have YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, and I want this to be my main hub. Instead of, oh, you can follow me here, 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 here. You can shop here, here, here. How about if you're interested and you like what my stuff and whatnot and you want to support me, come to this website and everything's there. If you want to go to my other social media, all the links are here. If you want to shop products, all the products are on this website. Video highlights. I'm going to have some videos on here, some of my most popular. So if people don't know my YouTube, they could kind of check out what my YouTube's about. I want to just take a moment. I see a comment coming in. If anyone had told me before January 2020 that I was going to be injured and it keeps going, I would have said no way. It's crazy to just look back on life and think how far you've come. The last thing on our homepage here is an email newsletter. I want to create something like that. And I'm going to create some kind of PDF. I'm thinking Route 66 because that's how everything started for me. I didn't want to be a nomad. I just wanted to do Route 66. And being a nomad during that trip saved me money. That's how it all came to be. Not because the hashtag van life trend and that kind of stuff. So I'm thinking because this year is the 100th anniversary of Route 66, for those who sign up to my newsletter, I'll probably give you guys like a free Route 66 bundle of some kind, like a itinerary, wallpaper, stuff like that. And as we go back up to our home page now, I think that's just the same thing. I'm going to test it out. Yeah, it is. Service list. Yeah, we got our 3 services. I got to add details to that and all of that stuff. But you can see if you wanted life coaching, the price, ignore that. Again, it's just a generic. All of this is generic right now. But if you genuinely wanted me to help you with tutoring or ghostwriting or just general life stuff, I trained somebody to lose weight. I've trained somebody to join the Navy. That kind of stuff for a life coach. You'd come on here and, what's his schedule look like for this day? Okay, and you can see it's different time zones. That's probably just because I'm in Mountain and Pacific time right now. But it'll tell you, okay, I want to do noon at that day, and then you could schedule a meeting with me, and we could talk about what exactly you're looking for to determine what the actual price will be, because $100 for life coaching, that could look drastically different depending on what you're looking for. Same with photo editing, social media management, depends on what you're looking for. Promoting. We're just kind of going through because, like I said, this is a generic thing. So I want to see what it has. I've always wanted to do Route 66. It is awesome. That's how everything started for me. I fell in love with it, and I want to get some new stuff out. Looks like that button's not working, so that's good to know. But yeah, because of this being generic right now, there's a massive list right here too. And I need to get that cleaned up. I don't like that I have to keep scrolling up to get that as well. Best-selling items. What happens if I click on one? Okay, there we go. Good practice too, because it shows you got all the photos. A couple reviews. Ooh, it's cropping the reviews. I don't like that. I gotta fix that. Yeah, really cropped those reviews. I gotta fix that. You got some information on the item, but you can see too what kind of format do you want. Do you want a paperback? And this is the memoir collection, so you get both. If you wanted both books and you wanted to buy the bundle, you'd get it for $54.99 plus shipping. I gotta figure out that shipping's only like $5. If you want digital, it's $27.99 for the bundle. You could add a quantity. You'd add to cart, buy it now, stuff like that. What else do we got up here? the About page. Yeah, that's our vision and mission statement. I gotta change that. And I don't know if I like all of this on one page. That kind of seems like a lot for the home page, but Instagram, yeah, I don't like that. I'm gonna tell you that right now. I really don't like how it's all on the home page. I want you to click on a certain tab and be able to visit that stuff. So instead of just Instagram, I want to have a tab that says My Socials. And you click on it, maybe it shows you a couple different posts from those, and it shares all my socials, so you can click on it and go straight there. So I got to change that as well. I do not like that it hides that bar. You got to scroll up. I got to lock this in somehow. Video gallery. Yeah, that's also just on the home page. So it looks like I got a lot of work to do if I'm going to get this up and running by tonight. Oh, programming. Yes, perfect. This is something I've been meaning to look into. It's basically different think classes. So I want to see what this is right now. It just says it's free, that there's 6 things. So basically, you can also join this program via the mobile app. Yeah, I'm probably going to have an app too. Not sure. We'll see if it costs extra, but we'll do that. What I forgot to mention is the half off price for 3 years comes out to $558. So when you break it down, it's like $15 a month. So that's not too bad. You just need to make some sales. But yes, this is kind of going to be like an online class. So think my YouTube videos, but for example, how to write a book. And there's going to be several videos. One will be talking about writing it, maybe brainstorming, overcoming writer's block, etc. I'm just trying to unplug something quick. There we go. And then like episode 2 might be editing the book. This is how you can check for grammar mistakes, how I did it. Number 3, this is how you can format it for publishing. Video 4, this is how you can actually publish the book. And then, while I'm not perfect at it right now, hopefully eventually I can do like episode 5. This is how you can market and make sales with your book. So I'll have classes like that right on here. So you can go to that program list. You can check out what programs I'm offering, maybe writing, maybe photography, maybe video editing, photo editing, and you can buy those courses. It's just another way to help me continue to grow my brand, my business, and be able to make more stuff for you guys. My portfolio, this is going to be all my photography. These are just generic pictures from the website right now, but it'll show you some of my best photography work. Let's see what happens if I click on it. Okay, so that's kind of cool. It shows you the name of it, project type photography, and the date that it was taken. This is where the project description goes. Give an overview or go in depth, what it's all about, what inspired you, how you created it, or anything else you'd like visitors to know. So it looks like a couple different photos can be on one page. Next project. I'm learning all of this for the first time, so I got a lot of work to do. But like I said, this got to get paid for and launched tonight. So I'm going to have to keep it simplified for now. Here we go. Book online. So life coaching, photo editing, social media management. I got to figure out what the actual prices of those are going to be, what the time frame, stuff like that. Let's see what happens if I book course. Book now. Yeah, so I'll have to fix that. Book online. Ooh, it's not working. That ain't good. So much work to do, you guys. What do you think of this homepage, though? For now, just this screen here. This, like I said, was a super bright blue, and I was not a fan of it. You're good with that drone. Thank you. Yeah, I can't sell anything drone-wise right now because I don't have a commercial license for it. But eventually, if I could get a license, I could start offering drone work too, whether it's photography or lots of people do real estate. If you're selling a house and you want to get a couple pictures of the house with the drone or some videos, I'd be able to do that stuff too. Took some great shots over Slab City. Thank you. I only had really I say 3 hours, but I only had 2 hours in Slab City. So I really was in a rush, but tried to get some awesome shots. Looks good to me. Thank you. Tried to fix the text because the text was kind of screwed up. What I am worried about is this is on a computer. I'm guessing most people are going to be on mobile. And as expected, mobile looks absolutely like garbage. So much work to do. So much work. Right now, I've been doing 7:30 in the morning till noon. Walmart deliveries, come back, noon to 4 or 5 p.m., doing this kind of stuff. Then I make dinner for an hour pretty much. It takes a while to cook it. I eat, watch a TV show, and then I get back to a different project. So, like today, the next couple hours are editing this. I'll make dinner. After I get done with dinner, I'm probably going to have to start Saturday's YouTube video. So it is a lot, but we're getting there. Here we go. Oh, I love this. Perfect. Browse by custom jewelry, merchandise, or travel books. I do want to have that kind of stuff. Or if you wanted just the books, which apparently I have to figure out how to add those. But yeah, manage categories. So then that's the other thing, because if you go on my merch store right now with all the clothing, it is so cluttered. And say you have the same exact shirt, like a unisex t-shirt, but it has 4 different designs on it. It makes 4 different listings. I rather have it where you can pull it up by a category, like, ooh, I want this design, and it shows all of the available merch that you can get that design on. Not every single listing all in one place, whether it's photography, book, clothing, jewelry. It gets way too ugly and it looks horrible. These are the starting prices because those are the ebooks, the digital. Groups, I don't know if we're going to use that at all. Groups feed, view groups and post below. Welcome to our group Creative Life Hackers, a place for us to connect and share with each other. Start by posting your thoughts, sharing media, or creating a poll. Yeah, I'm not a fan of these groups. I think I'm going to delete that altogether because that's kind of what YouTube is. Like members, becoming a member of the group. Nah, if you want to be a member, like it's better to do yeah, this is so like Facebook, Instagram, YouTube type stuff. we're going to get rid of that. I did put a blog on here. So Facebook is kind of what I use for a blog right now. So what I'll probably do is I'll have a couple blogs that are on Facebook. That way, if people don't have Facebook, they can still come here and read them. Kind of like that, though. That's kind of cool. Yeah, let's see what this members tab is. Yeah, I don't get it. We're gonna get rid of that. We'll delete it. And then subscriptions, view and manage the subscriptions you've purchased. So these would be reoccurring things such as that ghostwriter, social media manager. Once we discuss, okay, I want one YouTube video edited every week. I want a short/reel posted every single day and edited. Okay, that's going to be this price per month. Then I could set up that subscription and you'll be able to just go right there, book the subscription, and be all set to go. So that is the website, it looks like, as of right now. So I got to get to editing now. Start making it look better. Get some more of my stuff on here. Organize it a little more. And get it launched by tonight. Go back to the editing page. It was very hard to do this on my laptop, so I'm probably going to continue doing it off my PC. Looks like solar's still doing good. Sun's coming out a little bit more. So yeah, I think I'll just stay on the PC for now and start doing this. But I see we've been live streaming for about an hour now, I think. Yeah, 54 minutes. So I think I'm going to call it there. And that way I can start editing this. I don't think you guys want to stick around and, well, maybe. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Should I call it here, or do you guys want me to just keep the live stream running, and maybe as I work on it, you guys can give me your thoughts about what color looks best, or what maybe you'd like to see on the website or anything like that. Just let me know. I mean, doesn't hurt to leave this running either, but I think we got a good hour live stream in too. So for those who aren't here, it's an easy rewatch versus if I keep this going for 2 or 3, 4 hours while I'm doing this editing. I do see we got 4 people in the house too, so thank you guys for tuning in. Yeah, just let me know your guys' thoughts. If you want me to keep it up and running while I'm working on this, I can do that. Otherwise, we'll call it. I think I'm good for editing now. Okay. Yeah, I see we got 3 in the house, so we'll do that then. We'll wrap it up. Let me pull this back up. Put my thing back up here. But yeah, show you guys the business. Talk about business a little bit. And we'll do more of these, maybe once a month. Like I said, it's not going to be an every week thing, but I want to do some live streams outside of game night, and lots of people ask a lot of business questions. I got a business degree, so figured why not show you guys behind the curtain. And it kind of explains if I do something and whatnot, you guys kind of understand better why it's being done a certain way. So thank you to the 4 people who were able to tune in live here. I definitely appreciate it. I just took a pain pill and stretched out. I hope you feel better, Floss. I am actually kind of worried about that myself, sitting in this booth. My back gets really bad. I get a really bad flare up sometimes, and I have to take 3 extra strength Tylenol. So I'm really hoping I could just work on this website a little bit and not have to deal with that. Because it sucks. All of a sudden it just hits me and I gotta go stretch out and stuff too. So I get it. I definitely get it and hope you feel better. Behind the scenes is interesting. Glad you liked it. I know it's not going to be for everyone, but like I said, shows you guys a little bit of the stuff you don't normally get and explains why I do things a certain way. I try to keep videos on time, but if I ever delay a video, then you guys kind of get you get a better better view of why and how the life works. It's not all sunshine and rainbows out here. You got to work and you got to make money. So my latest is my latest is a broken vertebrae in my back. Oh, back pain is the worst. Like, because it affects everything. I'm sorry to hear that, Floss. That is, that's rough. I actually worry because I don't know if you've ever heard this story, Floss. So before I end this live stream, I'll share another story with you. When I was in 11th grade, it was the last day of school before summer vacation, and the science teacher took us off of school property. We basically walked like a mile away from the school, and there was a river. And she gave us these overalls, like fisherman overalls, and we went walking through this river. And my mom was so pissed because she did not it was just spontaneous. The teacher was like, okay, let's go walk a mile and then walk through the river and all of that. And my mom's like, you didn't get my permission to take him off of school property. I was not informed that you were taking him off school property. Because what ended up happening was while we're in that river, a lot of us were tripping, we were falling. Well, I tripped and fell. And immediately, walking the mile back to the school, I could barely walk. I was limping so bad because my back was in so much pain. And at the time, I remember we thought that I just bruised my spine. And looking back on it, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. The breeze. Ooh, picking up some dirt. Where was I? Oh, yeah. We thought I bruised my spine, my backbone. Well, that entire summer, I was a dishwasher. And I had to bend down and put, cups, these coffee mugs on a shelf. And anytime I bent over or bent down, oh my God, I couldn't. Just period. I could not. And that continued all 3-4 months of summer vacation. So looking back, I think I did much, much more than just bruised my backbone. Because like I said, now I get these moments where all of a sudden it's bam, you get hit by a freaking truck and everything grows stiff and the pain is just so bad that immediately the second I feel it, okay, 3 extra strength Tylenol, we need to stretch, we need to lay down a certain way because it's just unbearable. And over the years, it's gotten worse. Ever since then, it's gotten worse and worse and worse. And there's times where from the very bottom of my spine, I feel like your foot falls asleep, that tingling feeling. All of a sudden, I get that, and it shoots all the way up to my neck, and it shoots down my arms, and everything grows stiff. that just tingling sensation. So I think I think maybe I caused a disc to move or something, and it's pinching a nerve or something along those lines, because every single day, that was probably 10 years ago, give or take. Every single day since then, I have dealt with back pain in some degree. And it's just some days are worse than others. Like right now, I have back pain, but I'm just accustomed to it. My back right now, as we're talking, from my shoulders all the way down, is super stiff. It's hurting, but it's just part of my life. But yeah, ever since that trip, I get these pinched feelings. I get this flare up where all of a sudden everything grows stiff. So back pain is no fun. And my stepdad also he just recently had surgery, actually a couple months ago. He's been dealing with back pain for years. He was a truck driver and got hurt on the job, and it was disc problems and all kinds of stuff, and they did procedure after procedure after procedure, and finally I think they just did something where they fused it or something, like it was the absolute last resort, but they didn't have a choice anymore. They had to do it. The 3 vertebrae in the neck were no fun last year. The year before that was a hip replacement. Oh my God, Floss. Definitely got to be a hurting unit. I hope, as you said earlier, I hope that pain pill kicks in, and I hope it kicks in quick so you don't have to feel it as extreme. I'm sure you're still going to feel something, unfortunately, but God, that stuff, like I said, everything is connected. Your neck, your back, your spine. So really, you hurt one area and everything is affected. So it's definitely not fun at all. With that being said, I will now wrap it up. I do see we still got 4 people in the house. So thank you guys again for staying here. I know this isn't the typical fun adventures and stuff, but we got to expand a little bit, and we got to turn this into a business a little bit more. So figured I'd help you guys see a little bit behind the curtains, and maybe if you're interested in living the lifestyle, learn how I did it, because a lot of people out here, matter of fact, this season so far, I am probably the youngest person I've seen out here by, we'll say maybe 20, 30 years still. So a lot of people have, Social Security checks and stuff coming in, and that's how they do it. And so show you guys how I do it. Thank you for watching, Auntie Peggy. If you got any leftovers for dinner, please feel free to deliver it out to Arizona. And I'll be reaching out to you soon, because, yeah, we definitely got to talk shop about your book. You were the first person that came to mind. If I'm going to be hired for ghostwriting, I don't think it's a good idea for me to be working on multiple books at once. I think I really need to focus on one, commit to it, and that's going to be how I make my best work. So I do got to talk to you and figure out financially something we could agree on and what you're thinking for the book, and go from there. So I'll be in touch. And thank you, Floss, for coming in as well. I have braces on my hands, so I can't type much. That's the best part, Auntie Peggy. We'll talk. Like I said, we'll have to talk finances. We'll have to talk what you're looking at. But if you want to hire me as a ghostwriter, you wouldn't really have to do... For those who don't know, before I end it, I know I keep doing this, but for those who don't know what a ghostwriter is they write the book in its entirety, pretty much, and you take all the credit as the author. Now, there's some that they sign NDAs, So you literally can't say like, oh yeah, I helped write that, or I was the writer for it. Some people do that. Others, they don't care as much. I could still say, like you, Auntie Peggy, you pointed out that you want me to help you write the book and stuff. And that helps me build my portfolio, build my reputation, my resume, which is another reason why it would be a perfect fit for me right now. But yeah, that's what I kind of mean too when we talk finances, sitting down and thinking, okay, what kind of length are you looking for? What are you looking for? Because I do want to like I'll have to interview you. I'll have to figure out how long, how many hours of interview there is, how many hours it's probably going to take to write the book, edit, format, but we can do all of that. And completely up to you how you want to do the book. Ghostwriting, typically I write it and you take the credit as the author, but technically, I guess if you want me to be the author, we can do that too. And there's got to be some way where I just say the story comes from somebody, and like there's got to be a way to do that. So yeah, we can look into it more and discuss it and figure out what we want to do. But again, thank you all. We got 5 in the house now, so I love to see it, especially since this was spontaneous. I hope to see you guys on Thursday for our game night live stream. It is actually my birthday on Thursday as well, so we're going to be doing a special game night live stream. We will be live for 4 hours. You don't have to come for the full 4, but there's going to be, we're going to play the game where you get to draw stuff like Pictionary. For those who have watched that game night, we're going to be doing that for an hour. Then another hour, we're going to be doing Where in the World is Kobe. I'm going through all of my photos from my life, and I'll show photos and I'll share clues, and people have to try to guess what country or state or even specific location that I'm at. And then we're going to do some other stuff that suddenly escaped my brain. Yeah. But yeah, birthday live stream. So thank you, Floss. We'll be doing that on Thursday. We will be trying to raise super funds too. So I'm going to try to set goals like for that drawing game. If we raise $25, I'll draw with my non-dominant hand. If we raise $50 next week, I will do a short of Rocky every single day. So trying to come up with goals, stuff like that. Make it a fun birthday bash is what I'm calling it. And try to raise some money, because if I could raise a little bit of money, I might treat myself to a fancy Italian dinner afterwards. Not going to lie. It would be nice. So take care, everybody. Have a great week. And I hope to see you Thursday for my birthday bash.